Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in and then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shout outs to the early birds. Let's see who we got here. Fifth Ward in the building. What's up, baby? Who is that? How you pronounce that? My names? My names? Is that my names or my names? But you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking to. K. Smith, what it do? What's up, Philly? Chicago, Ohio. I mean, hey man, all my little favorite cities is jumping in the chat today. Like, I'm cutting for Cleveland, Ohio. I see Mariam in the building. Mariam Silverman from Cleveland, Ohio. Kenya is checking in. The motherland, East Africa. What's up, Saraji? Appreciate you. Los Angeles is in the building. Brandy, badass Afro lock. What's that? What is it? Logic. Okay. It's going down. Mike Jeezy, what up? Miss Jazzy is in the building. Ready to block all trolls. Going in, fam. Going in. Let me put up a pic of Cassie. That's Cassie and Puff in better times. Cassie and Puff in better times, fam. What is this? Want to just look at that picture for a moment. Just analyze that pic. I mean, it looks innocent enough. And people ain't got to be smiling on a pic, you know. But like knowing what we know now and what Cassie has accused Puffy of, you have to wonder, you know, when you see this pic, when you look at pics like this. But you know what, fam? You never know what anybody got going on. It can be your favorite couple right now. You never know what's going on. When I look at that situation with Twitch and his wife, all of those videos where they appeared to be so happy dancing together, smiling, playing, you know, all of that kind of stuff, always teeth showing. And I don't care what nobody say, fam. I don't believe Twitch committed suicide. I don't believe that man committed suicide. And I believe that his woman accepted suicide way too fast for a man who had shown no signs of suicidal tendencies in his past. Make what you want to make of it. So let's get to it, fam. Cassandra Cassie Ventura. She's speaking out following news that her ex, Sean Diddy Combs, his Los Angeles home and his Miami homes were raided by federal agents on Monday. Lawyer Douglas Wigdor, who represents Cassie, and the Jane Doe who filed a complaint against Sean Diddy Combs in December, issued a statement to Good Morning America in the wake of the raids. Check out what they said, fam. We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. It is unclear if the raid and the December Jane Doe complaint are connected. But what I find very interesting is Cassie took the money and walked away, quietly walked away, and she said she wanted to move on with her life and that she wished Diddy well. She got her money and she took off. But now, since these new revelations, it appears that Cassie has had a change of heart. And she now wants this to be the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. She could have held him responsible back in November when she took the bag. But she elected to take the bag and forget about it and leave all of those other people who had not gotten the bag, had not gotten some type of restitution, some type of justice, all alone out in the cold. I'm starting to question Cassie now. I'm starting to question, her intentions here now. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, fam. If I'm looking at this the wrong way, go ahead and say it. I'm okay with it. I just like to learn. I love learning. So if you can teach me something new, go ahead. Shoot it out there, fam. I'm just a little confused. I'm always confused when people try to play both sides of the fence. Pick a side. I ain't got no problem picking a side. Cassie filed her lawsuit against Puffy on November 16th, accusing him of sex trafficking and sexual assault and battery and abuse and all kinds of stuff, all types of demeaning things. Throwing her in a gumbo with a bunch of male escorts and all kinds of stuff. In the court documents, Cassie alleged she was trafficked, raped, and beaten by Diddy during the course of their relationship, which began when she was 19 and he was 37, as an artist signed to his label, Bad Boy Records. At the time, Diddy's attorney, Ben Brofman, issued a statement saying that Diddy vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. Cassie's lawyer, who in her lawsuit that was settled a day after she filed, in a statement said, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control." These are Cassie's words via her lawyer. Following the statement, Brofman said in a statement to ABC News that Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims, adding that he is happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Miss Ventura the best. Let me tell you something, family, that I know and that I stand on. I think that sexual assault is one of the most egregious acts that somebody could commit. If somebody accuses me of something like that, I ain't settling, because I know I ain't built like that. I know I didn't do it. I'm not settling. I spend I spend 30 million to save 100,000. I'm not settling. Well, 30 million to save 100,000 don't really make sense, but you know what I'm saying. I'll spend 30 million not to give somebody $100,000 free check. If I know I ain't do something like that, man, and I'm not built like that, I don't want that on my record. I do not want that on my record. It's some things I just don't want on my record. It's some things that I'm embarrassed about that's on my record. But that's one of those things that, you know, hey, man, I just do not want that on my record. That's something that's something I don't want to live with. So if somebody accused me of something like that, and I know I ain't built like that, I know I don't want that on my record, man, I'm fighting. I'm giving everything I got. I'm coming for everybody. The lawyer ain't gonna even be safe. I'm coming for everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna fight for my rep. You're not gonna put that on me. I'm not settling. This is why some people believe that Puffy is guilty. Why would you settle? $30,000, $30 million, especially $30 million. Now I get it. Some people who own that very high profile people who makes $1 million a day, you know, they got better things to do with their time. You know, sometimes just writing a check is the easiest thing for them to do. But the problem with that is when you just write a check, people from the outside, others are watching that and they now see that, oh, it's sweet. They looking at you like, oh, that's a lick. Oh, all I got to do is accuse him of something and he gonna settle. See? So I'm gonna make an example of the first person. I'm gonna make an example of him straight off the bat. Oh, it ain't sweet over there. Oh, you ain't gonna be able to get no money out of Willie D. Oh, man, he gonna fight. He gonna fight. So that's just gonna be a waste of time right there. The lawyer gonna know it's gonna be a waste of time. A lot of these lawyers, if they think it's gonna be a waste of their time, they not taking on your case. And in most of these cases, the people that use these lawyers, they don't have any money. So the lawyer is taking the case in hopes that the other party settles. If they think the other party is not, there's no way the other party will settle, they know that they pretty much think that they can't win the case, they ain't got no evidence to win the case, most of the time they won't even take the case. But if they think, oh yeah, he's settling over there. You know how it is, fam. Every time somebody giving away money, every time somebody just passing out money, we all, you know, antennas go up and everybody know who passing out the money. And everybody trying to look to see how they can get them some of that money. So when you start passing out money like that, people antennas go up and they start thinking how they can get them some of that money. So now ain't no free money over here, man. I work too hard for mine. This is my kids' money anyway. You know what I'm talking about? This family money, this generational wealth money. Ain't nobody taking nothing over here. Too much work, too much stress. You know what I'm saying? To get to it. Ain't nobody taking nothing. Let's get back to Cassie. This all started, fam, after this whole nosedive of Puffy's empire started with Cassie. I mean, the rumors have been going on for years and years and years, but it wasn't until Cassie filed her lawsuit and Puffy settled overnight that things took a turn for the absolute worst. I mean, the floodgates opened up, and all of a sudden, Everybody had a story to tell. Now, a lot of people already had a story to tell. But when Cassie dropped that lawsuit and he paid that money within 24 hours, the floodgates opened up for the lawsuits and accusations. Cassie's lawsuit was settled just one day after she filed it. That had to be a record, especially for the amount. It's speculated that she got at least the 30 million that she initially asked for. In a statement, she said, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control." Following the settlement, Diddy's lawyer said in a statement that the decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims, adding that he is happy they got a mutual settlement and wishes Ventura the best. Wishes Miss Ventura the best. Weeks later, on December 6th, a Canadian woman identified only as Jane Doe filed a complaint against Diddy, claiming she was sex trafficked and gang raped in 2003 when she was 17 and in the 11th grade. The lawsuit names Diddy, former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre, and an unnamed third defendant, and claims Pierre and the third unnamed defendant approached her at a lounge in Detroit, Michigan, flew her on a private jet to Combs' studio in New York City, where she alleges she was plied with drugs and alcohol and gang raped by the three defendants. Now, family, this ain't blaming the victim. This is acknowledging the circumstances, because I'm not going to skip over anything to spare somebody's feelings. But the complainant says she was sex trafficked and gang raped in 2003 when she was 17 and in the 11th grade. She said that she was approached by Harvey Pierre and the third defendant in a lounge in Detroit, Michigan. They then flew her on a private jet to Diddy's studio in New York City, where she alleges she was plied with drugs and alcohol and gang raped by the three defendants. Where was the parents? How does your daughter, how does a 17-year-old girl gets first of all, what is a 17-year-old girl doing in a lounge in the first place? And how does a 17-year-old 11th grader, so she's still going to school, how does an 11th grader gets plucked from a lounge in Detroit and put on a plane to New York City and pops up at a world-renowned entertainer's studio and basically get ran through? How does that happen? How does that happen? Now, family, I'm gonna call a strike and a ball a ball. I love all y'all, but I gotta tell you the truth. Let's say that 17-year-old girl, 11th grade, 17-year-old girl, had a fight and smashed somebody's head in the concrete multiple times. Would you hold her accountable for her actions? would she be at all held accountable for her actions? Y'all see where I'm going? There's two sides to every story. And everybody needs to be held accountable for their actions. If indeed what she said happened to her, she was taking advantage of these grown men when she was in 11th grade, 17 years old, if that really happened, they should be held accountable for that. That's wrong. That's dead wrong. But if she walked out that door under her own influence, if she made the conscious decision to get excited and say, oh, y'all gonna let me go see Puffy? Oh, you gonna fly me to meet Puffy? Okay, I wanna go. Get on the plane, all that stuff. I'm sure they didn't blindfold. I'm sure they didn't put a gun to her head. I'm sure they just talked to her and told her all of the great things that she was going to experience when she got to New York. And she willingly hopped on that plane. She got to be held accountable for that too. See, because I know, like, we don't have a problem holding young girls accountable when they kill somebody. I don't care how old they are. They can be 15 years old. They can be 13. What do we say when girls go out and rob and kill somebody? Well, that's what she get. They give her a life sentence. Hey, don't be crying now. No, don't cry now. That's what we do, don't we? That's when they kill somebody. That's what we do, don't we? They go out there and rob somebody. You say they need to be caught. They need to go to jail. They need to go to jail. But when it comes to sex, we go, well, you know, she was too young to consent. She's too young to consent to sex, but she's not too young to consent to murdering. Make it make sense. I got my suspicions on why people have that double standard, but I'm gonna hold it for right now. I'll hold it for right now. But getting back to Cassie, I'm surprised that Cassie is taking this route, but it underscores the old adage that hell knows no fury. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So Cassie gets to pretty much have her cake and eat it too now. She got paid and she gets to see Puff go through it and possibly be punished, like criminally punished. Here's what I think is going to happen, family. I'm finna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb with this. I haven't really heard anybody else say this, anybody with a platform, a big platform. Haven't really heard anybody with a big platform say this yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Unless they have some concrete evidence, unless they have some actual video of Puff having actual sex with underage girls or boys, unless they have video of him actually beating on somebody, Diddy gonna beat all those charges. He's gonna beat every one of those charges. Now, he may have to pay some settlements. He may have to pay out some judgments, but he's gonna beat every last one of those charges. You know why I say it? Because when it comes to covering his ASS, when it comes to that, Diddy is a survivor. Diddy will do anything to absorb himself of punishment. He's already shown that he has the propensity to put out the fire when the fire gets out of control. The way he settled that lawsuit in record time, boom. His lawyers, the way that they jumped, the way that they pounced on these accusations, and when you go all the way back, just going all the way back to the shootings in New York City, the club shooting in New York City, and there's just been so many cases where people accused him of being involved in certain activities. And somehow, some way, he get up out of it. He just get up out of it. In this country, if you have money, I'm talking about big money, and real lawyers, the best lawyers, you can have money and still go to jail. We know that. But a lot of that comes down to the type of lawyer that you have. Sometimes people have big money and they make silly decisions about the type of lawyer that they want, that they need. When you're choosing a lawyer, you have to be very careful about the type of lawyer that you use, because you can have a good lawyer your lawyer can be you can have a great real estate attorney or a trademark attorney, but that lawyer knows nothing about civil suits, civil law, when it comes to accusations of sexual assault, civil law on that line, on that side. You can have a great civil attorney, very, very good. But if you use that civil attorney to try to help you fight a criminal case, you're going to end up in jail. Or you use a criminal lawyer who is perhaps good at fighting DUIs. He's good at fighting DUIs, but you hired him for a murder case. Or maybe he's good at all other criminal cases, all other types of criminal cases, domestic disputes and all that type of stuff. But he ain't never fought a murder case. That's a different level. That's a different level. And then you consider the connections that your lawyer has. It ain't about who your lawyer knows. It's about who knows your lawyer. When you walk in that courtroom and the lawyer, the judge said, do you have an attorney? Yes, sir. My attorney is such and such. Oh, you have Stanley. Okay. I could put you at ease when the judge is familiar with your lawyer, and even more ease when the judge has a relationship already with your lawyer, or has great respect for your lawyer, or even when the prosecutor has respect for your lawyer, or has a relationship, knows your lawyer. Let me tell you something, fam. All of them went to the same schools. They all went to the same schools. Well, most of them. They went to the same schools. They go to the same places to vacation. They go to the same places to hunt. They hang out at the same bars. They sleep together. They procreate. Man, it's a one big club. So when you get somebody who ain't in that club, and you get some, you might have some issues trying to move your case forward. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, because there are some very, very good lawyers out there who ain't necessarily in the club, but they have hell fighting their way through the red tape and, trying to get through those gatekeepers and stuff. It's a lawyer out there, at least what I got, almost 5. I know a lot of lawyers watch this channel, so y'all know what I'm talking about. It ain't about who your lawyer knows. It's about who knows your lawyer. Sometimes the person who is well known has a good reputation in the courts, in the courts. They may not even be really, really good. They may not even be really good at litigation, but they're good at networking. You do this for me, I do this for you. Yeah, come on over here. Yeah, I got this over here. Yeah. Donate here, donate that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes, man. That shouldn't be the case, but that's how it is, man. That's just how it is. What's up, Christopher? Christopher Garwood. Nandi Johnston is in the building. Soar above. Sick Maid AK. Good morning, Stephanie Coates. Electrical, what does that say? Helper, job wanted. Says I may be off on this one. Nah, I'm not off. I'm not off at all. I know this system. I'm very familiar with the judicial system. I'm very familiar with how it operates. On all angles. Sandwich, what's up? Yeah, I'm very familiar with how it go down. I got a rich buddy. He's worth a few $100 million. And Rolling Stone magazine had a party in Houston. He was trying to get into the party. The party was exclusive. Invite only. Invite only. Ain't no way you can get in. Invite only. And anybody know anything about Rolling Stone, when they do parties, people like that, when they corporate type parties like that, they're very strict. They don't care who you are. Couldn't get in. He called me. Made one phone call. All right, man, go right over here to whoop, ask for such and such. And he called me back 30 minutes later. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. That's just networking. Who you know. Not just who you know, but who knows you. Because I could have known somebody, but if I ain't have a phone number, a direct connect, then nothing could have happened. Nothing could have became of that. Got another rich buddy who tried to get into a Chappelle show. Sold out. Totally sold out. Ain't no tickets, ain't no scalpers. It's sold out. There ain't no tickets outside. You can't go outside, stand and find somebody standing around saying, hey, we got some tickets. No, it was gone. All tickets was gone. Say, man, man, really want to go to that Chappelle show, man. Man, you think you do anything? You know what? I'm going. Just come with me. Boom. You in. This is a guy that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Could not buy a ticket for the Chappelle show. I guess he could have gotten it sooner, but he didn't. He missed the boat. But because of who he knew, he was able to get access. Say less, be more. What up? Jimmy Brown. Jamel Anderson. Yep. High profile case. And I said this yesterday that Cassie would talk. I mean, she was going to say, I knew that she was going to speak to, she had to talk to the Fed because the Fed's coming to talk to her. They got to talk to her. I mean, she bust the case wide open. So they got to ask her, hey, what's going on? What's up? Got anything you can tell us? Want to share with us? If you're just not joining, fam, let's recap right quick. That is Cassie. Cassandra Cassie Ventura. This is the woman who basically opened up the floodgates of allegations against Diddy after she filed a lawsuit against Diddy claiming sexual assault, rape, abuse, and other crimes against her. She's speaking out following news that her ex, Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes were raided by federal agents on Monday. Lawyer Douglas Wigdor, who represents Cassie, and the Jane Doe who filed a complaint against Combs in December, issued a statement to Good Morning America in the wake of the raids. Their words: "We will always support law enforcement when it comes to seeking to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. It is unclear if the raid and the December Jane Doe complaint are connected." Cassie, who is 37 years old, filed against Diddy, who is 54, on November 16, accusing Diddy of sexual trafficking, sex trafficking, and sexual assault. In the court documents, Cassie alleged she was trafficked, raped, and beaten by Diddy during the course of their relationship, which began when she was 19 and he was 37, as an artist signed to his label Bad Boy Records. At the time, Diddy's attorney, Ben Brofman, issued a statement saying, Diddy vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. Cassie's lawsuit was settled a day after she filed. In a statement, she said, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on the terms that I have some level of control." Following the settlement, Brofman said in a statement to ABC News that Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims, adding that he is happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Miss Ventura the best. Weeks later, and we all knew it was coming, on December 6th, a Canadian woman identified only as Jane Doe filed a complaint against Combs, claiming she was sex trafficked, gang raped in 2003 when she was 17 and in the 11th grade. The lawsuit names Diddy, former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre, and an unnamed third defendant, and claims Pierre and the third unnamed defendant approached her at a lounge in Detroit, Michigan, flew her on a plane, a private jet, to Combs' studio in New York City, where she alleges she was plied with drugs and alcohol and gang raped by the 3 defendants. Diddy took to social media on December 6, 2023 to denounce the allegations against him, writing in a post, "Enough is enough. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday," he said. "Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." Pierre's attorneys also responded to the suit in a case filing and denied the allegations, specifically denying that he used his position of power to groom the plaintiff and denying that he witnessed or participated in a sexual assault of the plaintiff. On Monday, a Homeland Security investigation spokesperson said in a statement that the raid on Combs' Los Angeles and Miami properties were executed as part of an ongoing investigation. Earlier on yesterday, Homeland Security investigations, New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with the assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners, the spokesperson said. "We will further provide information as it becomes available." This actually happened on these actions from the HSI actually happened on Monday. The searches were carried out at Puffy's properties as part of a federal investigation led by the Southern District of New York into alleged human trafficking. Law enforcement sources familiar with the matter said no criminal charges have been filed in the investigation. Law enforcement sources said that while the search warrant was being executed in Los Angeles, Combs' sons were detained outside the home, as is customary in such circumstances, and released without charges. Yeah, that's cool. That is customary in such circumstances that they were detained inside of the home. But I heard that they pulled guns on the boys. Yeah, they say they pulled guns on them. Where is it? There's a pic of them in the upper right-hand corner is where you see Justin with his hand behind his back, and right there about in his 7 o'clock position, you see his brother King. I don't know who that is sitting on the ground. But yeah, it is said that HSI rolled up on them and drew guns down, drew guns. That's King right there to the right, the far right there, with his hands behind his back. They say they drew guns on the boys. And that's just being over dramatic. They also came in from the in Miami. They raided the house in Miami from both land and water. He rolled up on a boat, had a helicopter in the sky. I mean, they was coming for Puff, you know, like I mean, they was coming for him like they looking for El Chapo or somebody, or Donald Trump. That's crazy. All of that weaponry, all of that military force for Diddy? I tend to agree with the lawyer. I think that was overkill. You can just, it's Diddy, man. You just go right up to the house and ring the doorbell. I don't know. I guess you got to be a little dramatic though. Something that big, you got to be a little dramatic so you can put it in the book. You know, anytime you do something this big, you got to do the book after. You know, when you quit, whenever you retire, got to put a book out about it. Leroy Jones. Yeah, I've been hearing about that dude. I ain't really looked into it too much, but yeah, I've been hearing about him saying, you know, accusing Diddy of sexual misconduct and grooming. Yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. I really hate that it had to be another brother. I hate that. Because we need those symbols of success. We need those fatherly figures that are larger than life to be righteous, because you know how they do us, fam. They try to group us all together. They're gonna take somebody like Puffy and they're gonna try to act like, oh, this is how all black men act. You can't trust them, you know, like, and that's the way they do. You know, we know better, but that's the way they do. They try to treat us like we're a monolith. So, but we also don't need just a symbol of success. We need black entrepreneurs, you know, with money out the anus so that they can inspire and create and build. We need that. And so it looks like to me that these people are going to try to run through all that money. But it also looks like to me that Diddy has made some steps to protect his money. It's sad, man. It's sad that something like this is happening. And how do you get around it? Are y'all gonna stop listening to music that was produced by Diddy? Y'all gonna stop listening to All About the Benjamins now? Y'all not gonna dance to it when it come on in the club? You know, I know a lot of y'all said y'all was gonna stop messing with R. Kelly. Y'all wasn't ever gonna listen to R. Kelly again. Are y'all gonna stop listening to Diddy's music? What about all the other artists that he produced? Y'all gonna stop listening to Mace music, Faith music, Mary J. Blige? Y'all gonna stop listening to Mary J. Blige? Are y'all gonna stop listening to Craig Mack and Biggie? What about 112? Y'all gonna stop listening to the music? Carl Thomas. What y'all gonna do? Dread 413 says, yep, if they stop the Cosby Show reruns, erase Diddy too. They can't, they only pause the Cosby Show reruns. They can't stop it. It's too much money. Let me tell y'all something about America, family. America is the king. Americans are the kings and queens of selective outrage and getting over it as soon as possible. Soon as something else new come on, here they go. They're going to switch it up. America don't really care about this type of stuff, because if they really did, they wouldn't be going after just Diddy. They would be going after these sex rings. Do you understand that sex trafficking, they got real people out here that's every day, all day, every day. They don't do no music. They don't do no music. They don't go to studio. They don't do movies. They're not on Instagram posting pictures of their family. They're not at award shows. They spend every waking moment trying to abduct children and young people, to force them into sex. They kidnap them and they take them overseas, or they take them to different cities, and they use their bodies up. And when they're done, they kick them out into the streets when they can no longer use them, when they've served their purpose, when they got them so junkied out that they can't even function. They can't even answer to their name. That's when they discard them. So there are actual, real underground sales of people who sex traffic all through the United States of America, all through America, all through North and South America, all through the world, and they ain't doing nothing about it. They could stop it, but that is not a priority. So when I see them coming for Puffy and putting all of this energy in the Puff, I'm not saying Puff is innocent. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm calling a strike and a ball a ball. I would be remiss to not speak on that part of the game. Whatever Puffy is accused of doing, whatever you can accuse him of doing, it's people out there every single day doing 10,000 times more than what Diddy is doing. And they ain't doing nothing about it. Oh yeah, every now and then they make a little bust, and they break up a ring and then show some faces on the TV screen. 20 people, they busted a ring of sex traffickers, and they show 30 people, 20 people. It's like, and we like, ooh, they making progress. They ain't doing nothing. It's just like the drug trade. If they wanted to stop drugs from coming in like that, they could do it. But how you gonna do it when the people that are supposed to be guarding the borders are cutting deals and letting it through? So every now and then they let a big shipment through. Every now and then a big shipment come through and they make a big bust. But that one big shipment ain't nothing compared to the thousands of shipments that come through year round. They make a one big bust every now and then, and everybody get all excited. But what about all those other shipments? How do you think people are getting over here on this side of the border? This is America. It's supposed to be one of the most military proficient countries in the world. This is like the country, the most military might that the world has ever seen. But you can't stop some people from jumping a fence. You can't stop some people from building some tunnels and coming over here and popping up in the US. Oh, they could do it if they wanted to. They don't want to. So all of y'all, when y'all hear people talking about we're gonna build the wall, we're gonna stop them, look at that, they coming in our country. Man, your people letting them come in your country. Your people are letting them do that. Common sense should tell you that. All of this, hold on, did I run across a troll just now? Hold on. Okay, I got me one. Boom. Yeah, we don't play that. So yeah, family, all of these people who are falling dead, people falling dead at 40, 30-something years old, 20-something years old, heart attacks and this and that. Do you know a lot of that got to do with the food that we eat and the stuff that they allow these food distributors and manufacturers to put in our food? These people know these people got stuff, putting stuff in the food that kill us, and they still letting them do it. Why? They don't give a damn about us. Family, they just approved lab meat to be sold in restaurants, even high-end restaurants in the US. If the high-end restaurants are selling lab chicken and other lab meat, well, you know the low-end ones are selling it. Family, the FDA has approved the manufacturing of lab meat to be sold in supermarkets and in restaurants. And even if you ask, is this lab meat? They might lie to you because oftentimes you can't tell the difference, especially if it's fried. Think about chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets look, depending on where chicken nuggets look different everywhere you go. The texture of chicken nuggets look different everywhere you go. This is madness. These people don't care nothing about us. We're on our own. So when you see them coming for Puffy and putting all of that energy in and resources into taking him down or humiliating him, just know they're not doing it for you. They're not doing it to make society safer. Perhaps that could be incidental. Perhaps inadvertently they're doing it, but they're not doing it for you. They're not doing it because they love you or they're trying to make society safer. They doing it because they know y'all gonna get excited for stuff like that. Oh yeah, finally they get him. They get him. Yeah. Get him. That's what I'm talking about. They should have been and got him. They get to be the good guy and the bad guy at the same time. It's people out there, family, that's doing some sex trafficking. Sex trafficking. I'm talking about they doing the type of sex trafficking where you can't leave. They doing that type of sex trafficking. You can't leave. The type of sex trafficking where they're gonna harm your parents if you try to leave or you say something. They're doing that type of sex trafficking. They're doing that type of abuse. And they are leaving bodies on the side of the road. That's happening right here in America every day. Some of the places that we go to, bodegas, corner stores, gas stations, Restaurants. They have people coming in there, in and out all day. And they got all the way in the back. They got a room back there. And they trafficking human beings. You ever notice how some places that you pass by, they always, like, say, for instance, like a restaurant. Some restaurants been open for years. They ain't never got nobody inside, but it's always cars parked in there. And ain't nobody hardly ever inside of there eating. They're all the way in the back doing God knows what. How many times have you seen them when they do bust these places and they go up in the back of one of these restaurants or one of these stores and they find 10 people being trafficked? That's that real trafficking. That's that all day, every day trafficking by the hundreds and thousands. What are they doing about that? All these missing kids, missing people. What's going on with that? We're not asking about that. We only ask about what they put in front of us. I got to keep reiterating that I'm not trying to make excuses. I ain't trying to take up for Diddy, because some of y'all start tuning in at different times. You know, people come in and out, in and out, in and out. And so you might not catch what I'm putting down. You might not pick up what I'm putting down if you come in later. So I got to reiterate, not taking up for Puff. I'm just showing you both sides. Showing you the yin and the yang, and showing you how biased this system that we live in, and how controlled a lot of us are, and we don't even know it. We think our opinions are strictly our opinions, but our opinions are being shaped by media presentation. Measured man. Yeah, what about Clive Davis? You think they'll ever bust Clive Davis? Y'all think Clive Davis and David Griffin, David Geffen, them type of dudes? Y'all think them dudes ain't did nothing? Y'all think them dudes is like squeaky clean? Look at, what's his name? The Playboy dude. What's his name? Playboy. The one who died. The big pimp. The player. What's his name, family? Hugh Hefner. Yeah, Hugh Hefner. Who in their right mind thinks that Hugh Hefner could have soared to the heights that he did, achieved the type of fame, notoriety, and success and access that he did if he was black? Who thinks that could have happened? Hell, if he was any other color except white, who thinks that would have happened? No. It's a double standard. When they start talking about underage girls, I heard there was all kinds of underage girls at the Playboy Mansion. But Hugh ain't never had to deal with that. He never had to deal with it. I saw somebody trying to do a documentary about it or whatever, but it ain't really never get any traction. And then it didn't do no surviving R. Kelly type numbers. And Hugh ran his empire for about 50 years. Could have been 60 years. Imagine a black man having a place called the Playboy Mansion and underage girls popping up left and right and girls walking around with bunny tails, breast and naked and all that kind of stuff. And then he 100 years old and he got a couple of youngsters who are twins. I think he had some twins at one point saying he was both of them boyfriend. Imagine a black man carrying on like that in America. Man, they just shut that shit down so fast. These people don't care, man. They don't care about women and sexual assault. They don't. You know how I know? Because there was a report done not too long ago that said 90% of rape kits in America go untested. Let me say that again. 90% of rape kits in America go untested. So they'll collect the evidence, make you think they're doing something. When you go to the hospital, you go to the hospital, they're gonna collect the evidence, but they're not testing it. They're not actively trying to find out who actually did this. Does that sound like somebody? Does this sound like a nation that's serious about protecting victims of sexual assault? They don't care. Diddy is just a pawn. Whether he's innocent or guilty, Diddy is a pawn. They are not doing this to protect the public. This is not happening to him because somebody out there got a good heart and they just want to bring justice to people who have been offended. That's not what this is about. How many times have you turned on the news and you've seen somebody who's been accused of sexually assaulting several women, been found guilty, and get probation? What does that mean for somebody who sexually assaults people? Slap on the wrist. Now get back on out there and try it again. That's what that suggests. Come on, family. Come on, man. Let's call a strike and a ball a ball. Listen, family, it's always, in my opinion, a good thing when you can get off, when you get people that are preying on the community, if you can get them off the streets, that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm thankful anytime you can get a predator off the streets. I'm thankful for that. But I still got to acknowledge the double standards. And I still have to acknowledge that they're not doing this because they're trying to keep the public safe. They're doing it because it's part of the status quo. You got to make a move every now and then, especially on a big target, just to make people think you're really, really doing something. You got to do that every now and then. But it's really not about that. They care nothing about victims of sexual assault. They care nothing about the homeless. They care nothing about people who are addicted to drugs. They care nothing about cancer patients. They care nothing about racial harmony. We're all just pawns. They care nothing about your health. That's why they make it so expensive. That's why they make it so expensive to obtain health care. They care nothing about us, none of us. It's all an illusion. Even if you in this country and you white, you think they care about you because you white. They don't care about you. You're a pawn just like everybody else, but you have a different use for them. I don't know, family. Maybe I'm going too far. Family, do you understand if we had racial harmony in this country, how different things would be? That means that people would be respectful of each other, and we wouldn't spend most of our time fighting over something that neither of us earned. I'm talking about that. See, ain't nobody earned this. Nobody earned that, right? If they can get rid of that, if they can get us, if that ever happens, now what's going to happen is that we have time to think about more important things, like how they're screwing over all of us. You see? Once we can get on that type of page, we like, wait a minute, man. Now we can get that, we can get rid of that and not even be thinking about that, because that takes up a lot of our day, you know. So we can get past that. Now we can just really, really focus on what these fools are really doing. Now we can band together and get these damn chemicals out of our food. We can band together and get rid of these career politicians who are selling us out to the lobbyists. We can get rid of these crooked lobbyists who are selling us out to the special interest groups. Man. That's a rabbit hole, though, fam. That's a rabbit hole. A lot of times people think I just be tripping, man. But I just can't accept how things are. And I can't just know what I know and not speak on it. I can't do that. You know, I just can't do it. I could just jump on here, man, and just talk about nonsense all day long, just nonsense. And I could have way more followers, way more subscribers, way more comments. I could do all of that all day long. If I just want to just go for the low-hanging fruit and deal with the bottom of the barrel, I wouldn't even block people, because a whole lot of trolls could actually bring you a lot more subscribers and followers. For some reason, we really do enjoy conflict and confusion. So we feed into that. I ain't got time for it. I'm gonna block them. Demetrius Russo, what's up? Say less, be more. Sean Lunatic, what up, Sean? Broke Ape. No, I do not trade derivatives. But I tell you what, I do trade ape. Aped. Yo, you familiar with that ape crypto? APED, aped. Yeah, man. That's a good one. For me. You do what you want to do. That's a good one for me. Skibo. What's up, Skibo? NCO. What up, Bobby Wilmore? Is that Doctor or Dr. No? Say, fam, yeah, the food is killing us. 90% of the food that's sold in the US is banned in other countries. That should tell us something. 90% of the food in the US is banned in other countries. And if we want to eat healthy in the US, if we want to buy our food from the grocery stores in the US, we have to pay a premium price. We have to pay a premium price to eat healthy. Does that sound like a country that care about you? Does that sound like a supermarket that care about you? Look, I'm gonna sell you this stuff that'll kill you. I'll sell this stuff to you. Now it's gonna be cheaper, but it's gonna kill you. Now this stuff over here, it's probably kill you too, but it ain't gonna kill you as fast. Now you're gonna have to pay more for it though. People don't care about us, man. They don't care about us. None of us. We all in the same boat. The Jedi trick is to make us think that we're special than the other group. Make this group think they're more special than that group think they're more special than that group, and it's not just race. Make the rich think they're more special than the poor. Make people who live in New York think they're more special than people who live in Jersey. Make this neighborhood think it's better than that neighborhood. Make this political party think they're better than that political party. Just on and on and on. Just everywhere that they can think of that they can cause some division, you can cause confusion. So people are fighting over nothing. We're fighting over a lot of trivial things that none of us can control. We can't control it, man. We're fighting over things that we'll never get an answer, we'll never get a resolution for. And they know this. But most of us, we kind of slow. So we don't pick up on it. You got people who think that because you got the Christians thinking they're better than the Muslims, or vice versa. You have this church think they're better than that church. This hood think they're better than this street in the hood, in the neighborhood, thinking they're better than that street in the neighborhood. Religious people thinking they're better than people who don't believe. People who don't believe thinking they're better than the people who believe. We're really slow, family. is all part of a social construct to keep all of us distracted as the world turns, as they continue to play puppeteer. They don't like none of us. We're all pawns. Oh, man. Somebody said, how do you become righteous? Exercise your conscience. Utilize your conscience. Simple. We all know right from wrong. We all know right from wrong. Even as a little kid, you know right from wrong. You've seen sometimes little kids on the playground, and a little kid might take something from another little kid, and another little kid will walk up and say, you shouldn't do that. That's not right. Sometimes you see a little kid crying, and another little kid, it don't have to be a little kid, it could be a grown person. A little kid, little bitty kid, barely can walk right up to you and say, what's wrong? Are you okay? Why are you crying? That's empathy. Born with it. Born with it. Along the way, we lose it. We get programmed. We get conditioned. Little kids play on the playground. You can mix little kids up all day long. Little kid, when one little kid see another little kid, their natural reaction is to immediately take to that kid and want to play with that kid. That's a natural reaction. The parents step in and say, don't you do that. Don't you play with him. Somebody did them like that. It was their natural reaction. But somebody did them like that. Don't you do that. Don't you play with them. Don't play with them. Kid like, why? What's wrong? What's wrong? Because they're Have y'all heard about the news with Caitlyn Clark? Caitlyn Clark is a Iowa women's basketball star. She's probably the biggest star in college basketball. And she is the leading scorer, all-time leading scorer, men or women, college basketball. And Ice Cube offered her $5 million to come play in the Big Three for his league. That's super dope. If he could pull that off, that would be one of the greatest moves in basketball history, in sports history. I want to put a picture up of her right quick. Show y'all Caitlyn Clark. So check that out, family. That's Caitlyn Clark. And here's the story. Here's the story. Let me get the story right quick. So here's the story. Our star, Caitlyn Clark, is universally expected to be the #1 pick in next month's WNBA draft. But she received another intriguing contract offer recently. Big Three co-founder Ice Cube confirmed on Wednesday that the 3-on-3 league made a historic $5 million offer to Clark. Cube's words on, this is Twitter? Looks like Twitter. Yeah. We intended the offer to remain private while Caitlyn Clark plays for the championship, but I won't deny what's now already out there. Big Three made a historic offer to Caitlyn Clark. Why wouldn't we? Caitlyn is a generational athlete who can achieve tremendous success in the Big Three. Yeah, man. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Per TMZ, the Big Three's offer to Clark was for her to play in just 8 regular season games and 2 possible playoff games. So she would be making $5 million for just 10 appearances. Joining the Big Three wouldn't necessarily interfere with the WNBA career. As TMZ noted, that there are just 2 games that would conflict with the Big Three schedule. Let me tell you something. If I was in Caitlyn Clark's shoes, I'm gone. Damn the WNBA. $5 million. Right now, I think the chick that got the most money in the WNBA last year was like $250,000. It was only like $250,000. And this right here would represent what, 20 times the amount? Come on, family. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. If Caitlyn Clark if she was in the WNBA for 10 years, I mean, it would take her 10 years at $500,000. It would take her 10 years to make $5 million if she stayed at that pace. But even if you consider inflation, it would take her at least 5 years to get to $5 million. Nah, fam, that's a no-brainer. Go play for the Big Three. Go get that money. I'm gonna tell you what I think might happen. I think NBA gonna hate. I think the WNBA gonna be hating. They don't like that competition, and they already been hating on Cube. The NBA been hating on Cube already, so they would not like to see the premier player in college basketball, the premier player in the draft, the most wanted basketball player right now in women's basketball. go and play for a league that they despise. They may try to come up with some of those Tiger Woods figures, you know, like when the players on the golf tournament on the tour was complaining, the PGA Tour was complaining that Tiger was winning too many games. He was making too much money. Well, Tiger said he wanted more money, so they had to be creative. They had to be creative and give help Tiger get sponsorships and things like that, so that he wouldn't cut into the television revenue. And he may have still ended up getting some type of revenue, television revenue behind the scenes. We don't know. But Cube is right. The girl is a generational player. She's hard to stop. And when she get to the NBA, a WNBA, she's going to continue to break records. And offering her $5 million to play just 10 games, hell, if you average that out, that might be more money. That is more money than NBA players make. Because let's say she played, this is 10 appearances. So if you did the math on it, and it was 20 appearances, that would be, 40 appearances would be $20 million. 80 appearances would be $40 million. Ain't no NBA player making that kind of money for one season. And NBA players play 82 games. That's a good move. That would be a good move. And a good move for the WNBA would be to allow Cube and the big three that opportunity to grab Caitlyn with no interference. Like, get out the way, and that way the WNBA can continue to maybe they can work out some type of deal where, hey, you know, before they go over for any type of player that wanted to join the WNBA, maybe they have to consider, okay, we got a deal over here, but you still got to play X amount of games here, and you can go play over here at, you know, in the big three, but you still got to play. You still got to play X amount of games for us. Like Cube said, this is a once in a generation. This is a generational player. So there ain't gonna be too many women coming out of the college basketball, or even have played in the WNBA, is going to be able to go and play in the big three, because the big three is still very physical. It can get very physical, and it is still comprised of former NBA male players who dominated the game when they played. So it still ain't gonna be just no easy task for a woman to go and play in the big three. But if it's a woman who can do it and be pretty good and draw a significant audience, it would be Caitlyn Clark. Yeah, the NBA, they talking right now. The WNBA, they talking. They probably called a special meeting. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this Ice Cube thing? You know, they ain't talking about Caitlyn Clark. They talking about Ice Cube. What are we going to do about this Ice Cube thing? Get out the way. Let it go down. Get out the way, man. What do y'all think, fam? Y'all think that's a good idea for Cube to make that offer, to get Caitlyn Clark to go over and play in the big three? Give me a thumbs up if you're down with it. You think that's a good idea? Thumbs up. Thumbs down if you say, no, man, leave that alone, man. Thumbs up if you're down with it. Think it's a good idea. Miss J up, AI up, Shiny up, Uniqueness up, Voodoo Glitch down, Mash up, Marcus up, Miko up, John up, Mike up. So it looked like y'all in support. Trifula up. All right, all right. Demetrius Russo up. Prayers up. No Limit down. King Butch up. All right, so it looks like y'all tend to think this is a good idea. It's a good idea. I thought it was a great idea, man. As soon as I read the title, I was like, oh, okay, this is a good look right here, man. It's a good look. Hell, this is really genius. Ahmaud Arbery's killers are asking a U.S. Supreme Court to overturn their hate crime convictions. Look at these uncivilized mutts, fam. Let me show y'all, in case you forgot, what uncivilized mutts look like. Look at those uncivilized mutts. They want the court to overturn their convictions. They murdered a man because he was out of pocket. He was not where he was supposed to be as a black man. He was not where he was supposed to be. And when they summoned him to come to them and bow down before them, he refused to. So they gunned him down. The uncivilized mutt on the far left and the uncivilized mutt on the far right are father and son. The uncivilized mutt in the middle is their rogue buddy, all neighbors, who killed Ahmaud Arbery as he left an abandoned, well, not an abandoned house, but a house that was under construction in their neighborhood. You know how, fam, when you have a house under construction in your neighborhood, sometimes you want to go and check it out. You want to go inside, see what it looked like. It's in your neighborhood, you know. You want to kind of see what they're doing in there, right? Maybe you can get some ideas or whatever. You want to see, is it going to perhaps raise your property value or lower your property value? So Ahmaud Arbery goes in to look around, then he comes out. So they confront him, like, oh, what you doing around here? So they try to act like they confronted him because he was stealing something, but that wasn't the case. He just merely walked in, walked out, and they get behind him and they get on the back of a truck, like back in the day, like their great-grandpappies used to do. And they decide to hunt him down, and then they killed him. Now these uncivilized mutts want mercy from the courts. They want some type of consideration to be let free to live amongst the civilized again. The uncivilized mutt to the right is one of the worst because he is the pappy of his nappy-headed son to the left. He knew that he was a racist, bigoted, uncivilized mutt. And instead of him saying, you know what, life ain't really gone the way I really wanted to. I wake up angry a lot. And I get mad at a lot of things that I can't control. I can't help myself, but maybe I can help my son not to be that way. And you know what? I'm finna take my gun and do what hillbillies do, try to instill fear and intimidation in Black people. And I'm gonna go out here and confront this Negro. But son, I don't want you jumping on this car. Get out of here. Don't you come around here. Don't you get in this car. But Dad, I want to go. I want to be just like you. No, you're not gonna be just like me. You're gonna be better than me. But that's the case, Dad. I want to be a better Black hater than you. I want to be hate. I want to hate them more than you do. Okay, well, come on, get in the car then. So not only do he cause himself freedom, he loses his own freedom. He puts his own freedom on the line, but he puts the freedom of his son on the line. This is what I mean, family, about these uncivilized mutts, parents who have fallen short of the glory, who have failed as human beings, who have failed as constructive members of society, productive members of society. And they want the same for their children. They don't want their kids to do better. They want their kids to be just like them, just as messed up as they are. And he got everything that he wanted. An uncivilized mutt son who shared a prison cell with him. The apple don't fall far from the rotten tree. Let me get these uncivilized mutts off my screen before I throw up. Did y'all hear about the fast food workers losing their job in California? So why would the fast food workers in California be losing their jobs? Fam, you're gonna love this. Fast food workers are losing their jobs in California because more restaurant chains are preparing to meet a new whopping $20 minimum wage that's set to take effect in the next week. Man, they finna start charging $40 for a hamburger. $40 for a hamburger, $63 for a 3-piece chicken. That's the only way that they're going to be able to offset that cost. They're going to have to go up on the prices. They're going to have to grow up. They're going to have to go up on the food. Maybe this is this is what we need in American society to get off of fast food. Maybe we're going to have to raise the prices so high that it's just not worth it. It becomes no longer feasible. You know, it gets to a point to where it's not affordable. So it's avoidable because it's not affordable. Restaurants are making cuts mostly at pizzerias. This is according to a report published by the Wall Street Journal. Multiple businesses have plans to axe hundreds of jobs, as well as cut back hours and freeze hiring. They're going to freeze hiring. They're going to cut back hours. They ain't talking about raising the food prices yet, but you know that's coming. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom signed the FAST Act back in September to require fast food chains with 60 or more locations nationwide to meet that wage increase after labor unions fought for it alongside the healthcare industry, which will also see a boost in earnings in June. Better get that healthcare before June. Pizza Hut announced cuts to more than 1,200 delivery jobs in December. Previously reported by USA Today, it shows that some Pizza Hut franchises in California also filed notices with the state saying they were discontinuing their delivery services entirely. The franchisee is transferring their delivery services to third party. While it is unfortunate we look at this as a transfer of jobs, Pizza Hut told Fox, as you know, many California resident operators are following the same approach due to rising operating costs. Round Table Pizza will lay off around 1,280 delivery drivers this year in the Golden State. And Excalibur Pizza has plans to cut 73 driver jobs, as well as a 21% of its workforce in April. Whoa. No exemptions. There will be no exemptions. The legislation indicated that businesses that feature ice cream, coffee, boba tea, pretzels, or donuts could meet the definition of a fast food restaurant covered by the law, according to the National Law Review's breakdown of the bill. The law could extend to similar businesses that provide things like sweets and drinks. Greg Flynn, who has monopoly over Panera franchises in California, tried to get out of the state's new mandate earlier this year, according to Bloomberg, holding fast to a loophole that restaurants making in-house bread do not have to boost employee earnings. Newsom's office called the claim absurd, telling the Los Angeles Times that the restaurant chain would see no exemption. Okay, what about the people who like Chipotle? Well, Chipotle's CFO said that the company will be forced to increase their prices to comply with the minimum wage increase. Starbucks told the outlet it is evaluating the impact of the FAST Act, but did not comment on whether or not it would comply. It is unclear whether or not the franchise would be considered a fast food restaurant under the new legislation. Starbucks has committed to at least a 3% increase to wages that went into effect on January 1st. Y'all know with these increases in minimum wage, all they're going to do is increase everything else. And it's still going to be the same problems. It's not going to fix a thing. See, you got to be able to recognize this hustle these people have. They making it seem like they doing something for the people, but really it's going to be the same problem. A business, any business, must be able to cover the cost of a hire plus make a profit on the hire's labor. Any business. Employees can't cost more than their value to the bottom line. Businesses exist for only one reason: to make a profit. So this is going to be a travesty. Businesses have to operate under a free market, and this is not free market. It's going to backfire. What's going to happen is a lot of these places are going to start investing in more automation. Watch. They're going to have a kiosk, ordering system with a skeleton crew. That's what's going to happen. Prices are going to go up. Quality is going to go down. And that's already happening everywhere already. Even at the lowest places like Walmart, it's already happening. Prices are going up, quality going down. And even when the businesses get ahead and where they're making money hand over fist, they're not going to bring the prices down for their products and services. They're going to break, the prices are going to continue to go up. Even as they continue to make more money, they're going to continue to go up with the prices. They're going to mandate, they've mandated $20 for minimum wage. But then they're going to turn around and then the average cost of a, 2-bedroom apartment is going to go up like 30%. And they're going to take that money right back. That's what's going to happen. They ain't fooling me. They already been doing this, and they already started doing this at. They've been doing this at Subway for years. How many times have you went into Subway and seen only one employee? I tried to do it for a little while. Going to Subway, continue to go to Subway and buy their sandwiches. But after that, after maybe a year or so of it, I just stopped going. I said, you know what? I can't do this no more. They got one person working an entire store. It's one person. Now, I'm sure at some Subways where it's more busy, certain times they may have 2 people, but they typically have one person at Subways in Houston at least. One person. Cashier, prepping the food, and preparing the food. Making the food. I'm saying prepping, prepare. But y'all know what I'm talking about. You got one person getting the food ready, whatever. And then you got one person actually filling the order. You got a person prepping, the same person prepping, filling the order, and checking you out, and clean it up. Quality just continue to go down. So quality is going down while the profits are going up. That's what's going to happen. Subway used to be like a real cool spot. It used to be a place you can get your, something decent, get a decent meal, which I don't really eat bread. I don't eat too much bread. Like I rarely eat bread now. But back then, you know, man, I hit a Subway sandwich. I used to hit up Subway at least once or twice a week. That was years ago. Yeah. And have y'all noticed that even though some of these places have kiosks, they've taken away the human experience, they still are going up on the prices. They've taken away the human experiences. They didn't close down 9 cash registers. Everything's automated, but they're continuing to go up on the prices. But they're telling you before they're doing all this, they're doing all of this so that they don't have to go under. But once they get on into the black, they continue to go up on the prices. So I guess now the automation, the automated cash, the automated cash registers are demanding raises. I guess now, you know, they are demanding a raise. Can't trust it. All right, fam, that's my time. We'll do a recap right quick. Cassie, Diddy's old fling, is speaking out. She is speaking out. And she is dead serious about Diddy being held accountable for his actions. Through her lawyer, she said, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. It is unclear if the raid and the December Jane Doe complaint are connected." That's the Jane Doe complaint that I speak of, is a woman who said that she was sexually assaulted by Diddy, Bad Boys president Harvey Pierre, and another man. Family, as these news comes in on this case, I will continue to update you. I'm only going to cover breaking news. Anything else, you know, we can talk about it, whatever, but I'm only going to go live when it's breaking news. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Enjoy the rest of your day, your morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, family. No more talk.